Hello again everyone, just a quick introduction. We're the Tiller people, for those who don't know. My name's Keith and the lovely lady who you see now and then is my wife Bernadette. You join us on this cruise on the wonderful Trent and Mersey in the northwest of England. So I'll stop talking and let's get going. We're coming back towards Wincham Wharf now. It's quite noticeable on this trip that we've got boats what have been staying in the same spot, even the 48-hour moorings, for, well, overstaying basically. Quite a few. It's not fair on those who try to stick to the rules and you know, just boat as it should be, but sadly continuous mooring is on the increase, and to monitor it, it will cost CRT more and more money, and it's money they don't have. Yeah, it's definitely a changing world in boating, definitely is. At Wincham Wharf they do sell an awful lot of boats, among other things, and maintenance, etc. They've been around for quite a long time, not necessarily this company. I think it was Harold Marine once upon a time, but on our travels past and when we've been down to Anderton as well, we can't believe how many boats we've seen, what we know on the network from years ago, and a few what we've seen recently, but there's been a significant number. Yes, some of them were friends as well, but once they vanish off the canals, it's very easy to lose contact with people, and we feel there's a lot of people left the canals recently. We really do. there's a little bit of land on the left hand side as we're going along, what's been for sale for absolutely ages. But it's got private moorings as part of the thing if you do buy it. But what a horrible position. I don't think that'll ever sell. It's a matter of feet from a very, very busy main road. And at the top there's all the steam, what you don't see today, but all the steam from the tartar, factory. All that's there. No, unless it's almost given away, I can't see anybody ever buying that bit of land. Watch when we come next time, somebody will be building on it. Earlier I was on about pubs and our disappointment with so many now. Just wondering, anybody who watching this video, because we've not been in this one, has anybody been in the Broken Cross? And if so, is it any good? You can go in the comments and put your opinions, and if it's in the positive, we might try it next time we're down this way. These houses or apartments on the left shot up not that long ago, but already they're up for sale again, some of these. Yeah, those buildings, we couldn't believe how fast they were put up. I do wonder what the quality is of new builds these days, because they don't half fly up. Seems to have a few more boats in, but the setup's quite unusual. Well, it is for us when we're looking at it. But yeah, it's got plenty of more boats in than what it did have. cannot believe it. Coming past these moorings and no boats. I can remember when you had no chance of getting in here. It was always a prime spot. So that's a bit of a shock, that. 'Cause it's really quiet with beautiful views, which is what you want when you're moored up. But puzzled by that one, really am. Either broken down or boating in a completely unique way. Another prime mooring with nobody on the, highly unusual again. Yeah, bramble cuttings is normally very, very popular. We're just coming round this bend now and approaching bridge 176. That's where we'll take a little, should we say, a little break from this cruise, and I'll just tell you the story, which I've promised, about the mileage posts on the Trent and Mersey Canal, and then we'll be back to cruising. Those cast iron mileage posts on the Trent and Mersey stood there for around 120 years with no problems at all, and they were quite ornate as well. That's another story. I always go off a bit. But in 1940 they were instructed by the government because there was a fear that German paratroopers would invade Britain, and the likes of the mileage posts along the Trent and Mersey, they could be used to give them an idea where they are. If they landed, this is tell them where places are. So the instruction was to remove all the mileage posts along that stretch of canal. At first they said turn them upside down and just put them in the ground, but it didn't happen eventually. Perhaps a few did, but they were taken out. And they were all removed on bulk. So for the time, there was nothing then on the Trent and Mersey Canal, no mileage posts at all. But when the war was over, eventually they were being replaced and they were put back in position. But through some mystery or other, and things just happened, 34 of the original mileage posts were missing, so they never went back. So it didn't have every single mileage post back in position. But things did change. In the 70s, I think 1977, the Trent and Mersey Canal Society came to the rescue, and I will tell you a little bit more about that shortly. But here's a few sample pictures of those mileage posts, what we now take for granted these days, but they had a bit of a story, or a few did. The Trent and Mersey Canal Society were originally formed to campaign for the opening of the Castle Tunnel. That was a big thing for them. So all these societies throughout the country and all that, they do their little bit, and they're all scattered about, all the little bits, doing what they need to do or trying the best to in difficult circumstances. But what happened was, next, after a while, there was a guy who was in the society. I think it was Alan Bradshaw, I think. Apologies if I got that wrong, and if I have, I'll put his proper name at the top. Decided or wanted the missing mile posts to be replaced, and that was going to be a big task. But eventually, the chairman of the Trent and Mersey Canal Society at the time approved it, and I'll put his name because I forgot. I'll put his name there somewhere because I can't remember the names of people, everything. But decided to form or to campaign for the restoration of mileposts. So it was the milepost campaign to get funding to get them made and replaced. But there was a way they thought of doing it. Was it early days of all this? Probably was. A bit of sponsorship, a bit of, people putting the name to each milepost, able to keep the costs down. So they'd have whoever put the milepost in. There was a bit of a presentation. I'll show you some, some photos showing what happened. And what we always notice is at Bridge 176 on the Trent and Mersey. That one was missing for a long, long time. And I'd like to show you the photos of when it was put back in place in 1983. And there was a nice plate at the bottom and everything. They all had them, all the new ones had these plates with whoever was involved with it, the names of people and what it meant, etc. But sadly, on the, because it was a piece of metal, probably brass or something like that, at 176 somebody pinched the plate with everything, all the names on, so that is now missing. It would be nice to get it back, but it'd probably have to be made with some sort of material what wasn't worth money. So all this went on, the money was raised, and throughout the Trent and Mersey in different areas there was presentations and they were all put back in place, which I think is great. And all the time now when we go along the Trent and Mersey, we always take notice of that and realise, you know, what an important part individuals played in getting everything back to like it was. And they were all nicely painted as well, and looked quite smart. I think a few these days need just touching up again. Perhaps they'll get done at some time, who knows. But I thought you'd like that bit of information. I like doing things like that. And now, get back to a bit more cruising. We're back to our little cruise now. I hope you found that little snippet interesting. I know some people will know about it, but I suspect quite a lot of people who are watching these videos didn't know what happened during the war. But I just love those little bits of unique history, and I hope you found that as interesting as I did. A very, very sharp bend here near the flashes. Yes, we've seen some boats fly around here. Sometimes they get stuck as well when they're coming too fast, because it's shallow on the left, like I've said before. But they're going that fast, they don't make the turn properly. It's hard to believe, it's a few years ago now, but it's hard to believe that there was a guy who used to live in a boat in these reeds on the left hand side. We had shock of our lives when he popped his head out to say hello.
My dad had a shock, didn't he?
Yeah, your dad really did, yeah. I think we'll draw that cruise to a close now. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed that bit of information about the mileage posts. Right, time to go. I need to make a cup of tea, yeah, really do. And I think the same goes for Bernadette, if I can get to her, because she's doing a bit of her knitting and crocheting, which she never stops doing. Right, like I say, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra!